Welcome to my Fallout 4 Zombie Apocalypse Settlement Builds Redux. As I mentioned in my intro video, I'm playing through Fallout 4 with zombie mods and on survival difficulty. Now, I had already uploaded episodes 1 and 2, but I came to realize that I recorded the clips in a really low resolution, which made the videos look, dare I say, horrible. So, deleting those and redoing them, I took the opportunity to make a couple of changes from what I had done before. I want these builds to look very lore friendly. To bear in mind that the factions I'm working with at this point in the game have very limited resources, and thus we're not going to see crazy, complex, scientific items in these builds, in these early builds especially. As I move through the game and join up with other factions, that could change. This being a farm, I wanted to make sure that it was adequately zombie-proofed, as well as adding amenities for the occasional traveler, such as Lucas behind me at the moment. So without further ado, let's take a look at what I've done here. All right, starting off here at the front entryway of the farm, we have a break in the junk wall with a couple of turrets, and we have my 2 Minutemen posted sentries. I turned this building into a workshop, so we have a couple of workbenches, and we have plenty of tools and supplies to make it much like a shed you'd find in a backyard in, say, Colorado. Over here, I moved the cooking station to sit over where the burnt-out campsite used to be, so that Lucas and his guards will sit around something that makes sense, you know? I put a break in the wall on this side with a couple turrets, and I did the same over here on the other side of the location as well. This is one big change I made from the first version of the build. The old bathroom was way too complex looking, so I dumbed it down to just an outhouse. So over here we have the other break in the wall. This is to funnel the zombies into shooting gallery, whichever side they're coming from. Cut into where the crops are. I built up a fence around the crops, added a few, and I also gave them a little mini tool shed for just farming supplies. So there I got the shovel and the hoe leaning up against the barrel and that half wall, and then more supplies there, including a distress beacon, because, you know. Turning our attention to the buildings, in this back corner we have our generator building, where all electricity is created. Of course, no fusion generator yet, don't have those resources, but we do have a large and 4 medium generators in here pumping out power. Safety first. I have this switch right here, which is wired up to the settlement recruitment beacon up on top, so that I can turn that on and off easily. Before we go and look at the decorations in this is the residential building, and of course part of this building was pre-existing. All this blue broken wall already existed. Here on the inside we have the inside of the original structure. It took a lot of finagling to get the floor and then the walls to line up just right. Of course, can't see any of the original structure in here on these sides, but if we come back outside, we can see the original blue broken wall there. Of course, there's nothing where the doors are now. That was all just open. But this blue broken stuff, that's original structure. Over here on this side, we have a whole lot of the original structure. And then same thing in the back. I'm going to run around the junk wall real quickly here to the rear of the settlement. And back here we can also see a lot of the original structure on the first floor. So I tried to make it look like they added to the structure organically to build it back up, rather than building it all from scratch. Right, hopping back to the front, into the building to look at how I decorated, of course, weight bench, 3 of our 4 cats, Coca-Cola and performance-enhancing drugs, a living room area, which I tried to make very homey, and then, of course, the sleeping area is upstairs, more cat food, the 4th cat. We've got a desk to work at, and then we've got our 3 bunk beds, 6 beds altogether. That's 2 farmers, 2 Minutemen, a provisioner, and then the bartender, restaurateur, all with their own pillows. You can do it. There you go. And then appropriate clothing, all sitting out. All right, let's head back up and look at the restaurant. So again, making amenities for hypothetical travelers that come across here that are friendly. I wanted something of a bar and grill. It's also a place for the family to eat in case they don't want to make their own food. So we've got the station here where they can order their food and drinks. We've got a table to eat at, dog food in case dog meets with me, cat bowl. The refrigerator's closed for a change. That's nice. Got plenty of choices in there. More food. And then the grill, where we've got some dog plated up and some death claw on the grill. So this is Tenpines Bluff. Simple farm, made to be a little more zombie-proof, and just in general, a nicer place to hang one's hat. So after finishing this build, Preston Garvey next sent the character to Finch Farm. In some ways, Finch Farm will be very similar in that it's a farm. There's a lot of junk piles at that farm, so the materials from which to build are very limited. That said, it seems like a bigger area, and while the theme remains very similar to this build, I definitely stepped up the lived-in quality. I feel like there's more variety there. So I'm going to work on recreating that episode 2 at the higher quality, and then we will be moving on to some other builds from there. Thank you so much for sticking through the entire thing. Subscribe if you want to see more, and see you out there.